The National Assembly earlier this month passed the Broadcast Amendment Bill of 2017, a bill that has received heavy criticism from the opposition People's Progressive Party. The Guyana Press Association and other international regional press organizations have asked the president not to assent to the legislation. Once signed by the president, the act in parts would compel private radio and television stations to set aside 60 minutes every day for public service programs. The president was asked if he will take into account the concerns raised by some owners of private media houses.
The private media have my support, and I always will support freedom of communications in the private media. But we have an obligation to ensure that all corners of the country receive information, public information, about what is taking place in terms of public health, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of security. If people don't know what's going on, simply because the media are concentrated in Georgetown and not covering certain types of issues, I think there will be a deficit, an information deficit.
Mr. Granger said he is willing to give a listening ear to persons who have concerns regarding the bill.
There are some elements of the bill which have caused concern, but I ask that people be, that the critics be more aware of the peculiar nature of Guyana and the need to ensure that all communities are given access to information.
The opposition has said once this bill becomes law, it will be the end of press freedom in Guyana. But Mr. Granger has a different view.
I'm sure that in the actual function of the bill, we are not going to prevent any news medium, any outlet from fulfilling its constitutional role. But I have, and the government has an obligation to make sure that the entire country is aware of what is taking place. Now we have issues in security. What's happening in Rupununi, what's happening in the Borima-Waini district with the Venezuelans. Who's going to get information to them, you know? We have an obligation, and I would like to ask the critics of the broadcasting bill to see both sides of the picture.
The head of state is likely to assent to the Broadcast Amendment Bill. Roy Dan James, HGP Nightly News.